Were you involved in anything with the consulate? You were not? What about the Confederation of Toronto Chinese Canadian Organizations?
Is a member of Doug Ford's PC caucus the alleged 12th man in claims of a Chinese election interference network? Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. We've been hearing story after story for months now, many citing top secret documents from national intelligence services making allegations of China's attempts to interfere in Canada's elections. Now, since last November, when Global News first broke the story, there's been a claim about 11 federal candidates in the GTA who were helped as part of a scheme run by the Chinese consulate in Toronto. Now, part of that story was that a member of the Ontario legislature was involved in the scheme, but that person was never named until now. Global News, citing unnamed sources, has said that the member of the Ontario legislature who was part of this scheme is Progressive Conservative MPP Vincent Kay. Now, this is the man who represents the same Don Valley North constituency as Liberal MP Han Dong. That's the MP who Global has previously claimed was also part of this scheme. The allegations go so far as to see that Kay had a role in facilitating money to the 11 federal candidates in 2019. $50,000, they say. That money ultimately came from Beijing. Well, last November 17th, days after the initial story broke without the details, I approached Mr. Key at Queen's Park to ask him, are you part of this?
Do you have a statement? Like, were you involved in anything with the consulate? You were not? What about the Confederation of Toronto Chinese Canadian Organizations?
Do you have a meeting now? You need to go this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been involved with that organization before, though,
No,
sir.
I told him I already given the
MPP. We're going to go this way.
But I haven't received that statement. That was Global. Could I get a copy of the statement?
we could, yeah.
Okay, let's go into the elevator. Come on.
Thank you.
So you're saying there was no involvement at all, Mr. Key?
No. We're going to go this way.
Now, in addition to asking Mr. Kay on camera, I had a lengthy discussion and email conversation with his lawyer, Gavin Tai, who also denied the allegations. He denied the allegations in response to specific questions. Here are the questions I put to Mr. Tai and his responses. Question: was Mr. Key ever aware of any actions, activities, or plans by the consulate of the government of China to try and assist, persuade, or help in any way candidates in the 2019 federal election? Answer: no. It was that simple. Question: Mr. Kay has been associated over the years with the Confederation of Toronto Chinese Canadian Organizations. This group, according to media reports, was part of the alleged plan by the consulate to interfere in Canada's federal election. Is Mr. Kay aware of any activities by the CTCCO to get involved in the 2019 federal election? Quote from Gavin Tai: Mr. Kay has not been associated with the CTCCO other than potentially attending community events which may have been hosted by this and other of its member community organizations, nor is he aware of any of the alleged activities above. Question: was Mr. Kay involved in helping place staff or volunteers with any federal election candidates in the 2019 or 2021 federal election? Answer, again, a simple no. And finally, did Mr. Kay himself assist any candidates in either federal election? The answer there was yes, and I had asked, if so, which candidates? Well, here's the answer to that. Mr. Kay canvassed for Sarah Fisher for about 5 hours in the 2019 election, Bob Soroya for 2 hours, and Sean Hu for 2 hours. That's the full extent of the conversation with Mr. Key's lawyer. It is a pretty straight-up denial. Now, back in November, with no one making public allegations that Key was involved in an election interference scheme, in with that detailed denial on camera and in writing, there was no story to move ahead with. Well, now, in light of what Global has brought forward, there absolutely is. And none of the allegations by Global or anyone else against Key or any of the other allegations have actually been proven. But that's why we need more information, not less. So far, calls for an independent public inquiry have been ignored by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his Liberal government. In fact, they've refused to have any investigation of substance into this, whether it's through a public inquiry or through parliamentary committees. They have just been delaying and trying to obstruct. Well, I asked a number of questions of Premier Ford's office in light of this new report, and mostly my questions just weren't answered. Spokesperson Caitlin Clark simply said, quote, MPPK has agreed to take on different parliamentary responsibilities at this time as he makes every effort to clear his name, end quote. In follow-up questions, she did confirm that Kay is still in the PC caucus, but he's no longer a parliamentary assistant. So he's been stripped of his duties, but he's still in the PC caucus. Now, questions about whether Ford supports a national public inquiry, whether he has faith in our provincial electoral system, they went unanswered. Let's be blunt here. As I've been saying for weeks, this goes beyond one party, beyond one level of government. We need to have a full airing of what has happened in several elections at multiple levels of government. We need a full national public inquiry now. It's going to cause a lot of pain for a lot of politicians and a lot of political parties, but it's what Canadians need. China has gone out of its way to try and infiltrate politics at multiple levels in our society. We need to know the answers. And if people like Vincent Kay and Han Dong are innocent, if they've done nothing wrong, they deserve to clear their name. But right now, we don't have that. We don't have the resources we need to know what's going on. These men aren't able to clear their name. Integrity of our elections and the faith in them continues to suffer. It's why Trudeau needs to act now. He's the only one that can. Although Ford should be giving a stronger answer, Key should be removed from caucus until his name is cleared, and we need that public inquiry. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Share this on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.